So we got news and updates in regards to Gabe Vincent. So the Los Angeles Lakers announced that guard Gabe Vincent underwent a successful orthopedic surgical procedure on his left knee Wednesday. Team doctors will reevaluate the 5-year NBA veteran in approximately 8 weeks. It was also added, unfortunately, the knee swelling returned, leading to a surgery that a source familiar with Vincent's plan classified as a cleanup per Dave McMenamin. So looks like 8 weeks. That would leave us basically mid-February at the earliest, to more likely closer to March. You're talking by the time he comes back, Gabe Vincent would have 20 games, roughly, maybe 25 games of the season. And he's only played 5 games thus far. So literally he's going to play a quarter of the season. Talking about a guy that was the big free agent signing for the Lakers, right? They used their mid-level exception. He was the guy that was supposed to come in, replace Dennis Schroeder. He was supposed to be that constant off the bench, that point of attack guard, that 3-and-D guy, somebody that could come in and really kind of just help give some toughness, do the little things, do the dirty work, right? Work hard on both sides of the basketball. Yeah, he got some good size, 6'3", 200 pounds for a point guard, right? He's the type of guard that historically have worked well alongside LeBron James. Think of like an Avery Bradley, a Mario Chalmers, Norris Cole, George Hill, right? These are the kind of guys that 3-and-D, they're not really great playmakers, but they can knock down the 3 ball, they can defend, play both sides of the ball, and, find the open man on occasion. This is also a guy that elevated his level of play come playoffs, right? So this was a guy where it was like, okay, if he can just translate what he did in Miami for the Lakers off the bench come playoff time, the Lakers would be fantastic. Now, I don't know why he didn't just get surgery to begin with. Based on the reports, he went and did some treatments, got some plasma and stuff to try to prevent him having to do surgery in the hopes that he wouldn't have to do surgery, but it was kind of always something that was very likely to happen. My thing is why not just get the surgery, get it over with, get it done with, go through the healing process, and then he would have been back probably by January, right? If he would have done it originally. We're talking, again, he missed 20 games, 26 games or something like that. So it's if you did that back when you first got the injury, we'd be looking at him returning pretty much any game at this point. And it's not like in the games that he played, he was absolute game busters, right? He played in 5 games, as I mentioned. 25.4 minutes was his average, took 6.4 attempts, shot 37.5% from the field. He shot a total of 1.18%. So 1% from 3-point range on 3.4 attempts. He did shoot 66.7% on 3 attempts from 2-point range. So that was good. And then free throws, he didn't get many free throws at all this season, but 1 rebound, 5.4 points, 3 assists, 1.2 steals. So the idea of what he could be, you could kind of see. Guy comes in, plays 20 minutes a game. If he's knocking down the 3 ball at a consistent rate, right? Better, he can't be worse than 1.18%. Even career-wise, he's 34%, right? So you're talking about a guy that, even if he shot 34%, probably gives you 8 points a game, right? So you're talking a guy that give you 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists, right? With a steal and a half. But that's fine for your 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th guy off the bench. But he was also supposed to be our main point of attack defensive guy. This is something that just, it hurts the Lakers in a multitude of ways, right? Because one, it's one less body. It's one less point of attack defender. D'Lo has been our best guard defender this season, but he's not elite lockdown, doing much. Right? Austin Reeves has been basically an open door on the defensive side. Gabe Vincent was the guy that was supposed to add some stability, right? Especially towards the end of games, if you needed to, right? You're playing a matchup where, let's say you're playing the Warriors, you got Steph, you could throw Gabe Vincent on him rather than having to have, a Cam Reddish or somebody chase around. And then Gabe Vincent also gives you that 3-point shooting, right? So you're not losing some offense, or at least that's the idea. Again, he was atrocious. He was like something like 2 of 17 or whatever from 3-point range. And now that's not going to happen. And the other issue is I'm not saying the Lakers would have traded him or the Lakers were necessarily looking to trade him, but now the Lakers can't even if they wanted to. Because like what team is going to take on Gabe Vincent, bring him in any type of deal when one, he's probably, he might not even play this year, right? He's going to be reevaluated in 8 days or in 8 weeks, right? That's reevaluated. That doesn't mean he's coming back in 8 weeks. We could get to week 8, he gets reevaluated, and they say he's not ready still. It's not out of the realm of possibility he doesn't play at all this season, right? Maybe best case scenario is he's a guy that comes in with like 20 games left. He gets in a rhythm. He gets into his groove in those 20 games, and then he's ready to go come playoff time, and hopefully he can have an impact on the roster come playoffs, right? But again, like if let's say, the Lakers were trying to do, let's say, for example, Chicago, I'm just going to use them as an example. Say Chicago was like, hey, we'll trade you Zach LaVine, Alex Caruso, Andre Drummond, right? And just give us, the salaries to work in a first, right? So Rui, D'Lo. Well, now you can't trade Gabe Vincent. So how do you get there? Right? How do you get to the salary that you need to? Or if you wanted to do some other trade, right? Let's say we'll just use Chicago as example. Let's say you do Zach LaVine and Andre Drummond, right? And you may have had an opportunity to go get like maybe a Royce O'Neal or something, right? Well, now if you're the Nets, it's like, why would we take Gabe Vincent, right? Like when he can't even play this year. If he could have played, yeah, maybe he'd make some sense as just a backup 3-and-D style guard that we could have, right? Kind of help with the flow with it. Like, I don't know. It just, if you're the Lakers, you're kind of stuck with him now at this point, right? Unless some team just thinks like, or unless you're doing a deal with like some tanking team, right? Maybe if you're doing a deal with like maybe Detroit or something where they're like, hey, Gabe Vincent would be a nice veteran guy that could be good for our young guys, right? We don't really even need him to play this year. We're terrible anyway. So unless you're finding a deal like that, like any other deals, like a deal with Chicago or, Atlanta, right? Because DeJounte Murray is another guy whose name is being thrown around. Any type of deals in that regard, you kiss those all goodbye. Because, again, what team is going to want to take on Gabe Vincent when he probably isn't playing this season? And even if he does play this season, who knows what he's going to look like when he comes back, right? So the Lakers, again, best case scenario is you bring Gabe Vincent back. He has a couple handful of games, hopefully at least has 10 games by the time he comes back, so he can kind of get his shot, get his stroke down, get his rhythm, all that stuff. And then maybe that translates. I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. It also comes down to, like, how does he perform once he gets back from injury, right? I'm not saying immediately, right? But again, say 10 games and you get to the playoffs. If he is giving you 12 points, shooting 38% from 3, lockdown defense, and is basically, like I said, the Gabe Vincent from Miami in the playoffs, then in hindsight, no one's going to care, right? Like, it sucks that we didn't have him all season. I'm sure he would have helped. I don't know how much he would have changed thus far, but I do think he could have had some impact, especially if his 3-point shot started to fall, right? To me, it just comes down to how does he look once he returns from said injury, especially come playoff time. If come playoff time, he's great, right? And he's a big part of it, and the Lakers win the NBA championship this year and he was a key guy, then in hindsight, no one's going to care. No one's going to be like, oh man, Gabe Vincent. But if he comes in and he's terrible this year and he becomes a liability and we get to the playoffs and he has no rhythm and he's basically just dump trucking every shot out there and, he doesn't have his timing down. He doesn't have his foot speed down. His knees bothering him. Like, then that becomes an issue. or if the knee injury continues to be a persistent thing, right? There's several ways that this could go. So we'll see. Time will tell. But I don't know. Anyway, again, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you make of this? Are you disappointed? Do you think like, hey, it doesn't matter, just go get healthy, get better, get yourself in order, so that way, you know, you can get back to playing some Laker basketball for us, being a contributor, playing on both sides of the basketball. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.